What is up, fishing addicts? On today's video we will be talking about weedy shallow river lures. I've been asked a few times what lures do I use in Dupage River, and here are the top lures. It's not a top 5 video. Here are my top lures that I use in Dupage. The river is shallow and it's covered with weeds. My go-to baits are, first and most that I like to use, is just a swim jig and a paddle tail. I like white, but I don't have any right now with me. They're all in my car, stacked up. And how I like to rig this is just I'll cut off the top, go through it, and just right before the tail come out and push it through, and it just fits perfectly to these swim jigs. And I use a 1/4 ounce. I would rarely go above 1/4. Usually a 1/4 ounce will get me what I need to do, and I don't want to go any heavier because the grass is just coming up, or it already has came up, and it's doing one of these waves on the current, and the fish are stacked up right below it. So what I want to do is I'll cast upstream and slowly retrieve with my rod tip pointing up so the lure doesn't dive in. So it'll be maybe a couple inches or a foot down. It's just grazing the top of the grass. And if I want to rig it weedless, I won't cut off the top, but I'll just put a wide gap hook through it. Let's go. Maybe I did it wrong. So go like this. Like I go just a little bit past the barb, pull it out, go through it, and then I Texas rig it. So this way I'll cast it. Once I cast it, again I'm casting upstream. Try to fish upstream as much as possible. And what you're doing is, when you cast, waiting for the lure, just drags the current, drags the lure, and you're retrieving it. It looks like a bait fish trying to get away from the current. And when you're going on top of the grass lines, the fish are just sitting and looking up, and they see the bait and they just sneak up on it and smash it. The other way I like to fish is just a soft jerk bait, fluke type of bait. Again, Texas rig, put it through, go through the bait. And now with this, since it's not a paddle tail, I'm not swimming this. What I'm doing is I'm casting it again upstream, and then weedless, no weight. What I'm doing is just popping it. I'll pop it, small pops, let it go, pop the rod tip up. So I'm raising it up. I'm not jerking it, I'm raising it up so it pops. And it's pretty good way to catch the bigger fish. And also you get a lot of bites from the smaller, more aggressive fish, but the bigger ones, they'll just smash it. And final, one of my favorites, and this will be number 2, same thing. I'll just use a paddle tail, and if there's a little bit more current, I'll use a weighted hook. And with these, I just screw it in. Come on. Once it's in, make sure it's up the correct way. This is the belly. Trying to. Oh, how embarrassing! I can't even wriggle. So plastic. Just kidding. So it's like this. You go through the belly. And what I like about Yum is they have a hook slot where you can come out, so you don't have to completely Texas rig it. So you can just rest it on the hook spot, so it's better hookup ratio. Except maybe we needed a little bit bigger hook for this one, but or I came out the wrong way. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. Perfect straight. So this is perfectly straight. A little bit of belly weight. So this will swim. Again, you cast upstream and swim it towards you when the grass is, when you have a lot of grass. And it is pretty weedless, snagless. This thing will cut through the grass. And I'll use a short leader. I'll say about foot and a half. I'll say, let's say 14 inches. And I'll use it with braid. So in case there's a lot of weeds that go on your line, all you can do is just snap it and just cuts through it. And these are the baits. And now, I mean, the soft plastics that I like to use. I will not use a crankbait on Dupage River because with all those weeds, it's just pointless. And bottom fishing, like Ned rigs, tubes, anything open, it's a big no-no. You know, most of the time you'll just be taking off or getting snagged on the grass. And my other favorite, top water. I prefer using a spook, a stick bait type of thing. I'll cast it towards the shore and I'll just jerk it, doing the walking the dog action. And for the bigger fish, I still use a little popper. I don't like using the big poppers or the actual popper, not just the walking popper, because they put up a little bit of too big of a sound for me. And I really like using stick lures for top water. This one does put up a little bit of popping sound, but most of the time it's just walking the dog action. These are especially good when they're busting on shallow and top water, especially this one. It's a killer for them. It's just a little bit harder to cast on a bait caster. But for the most part, this one, it's a killer. And then, of course, Whopper Popper. I like using the 90. The 75 works just fine, but the 75 has a wider body, and I think with the 90, it's small enough and compact size, and the unique sound from it. I think you get more bites on a 90 than a 75. And with these I like to put a swivel. The swivel is a must. Otherwise, your line will get twisted like you wouldn't believe it. So what I found out the best swivel that worked for me was from DAM. It's a German company. Are they made in Germany? Most likely not. I'm pretty sure it was China or somewhere around that part of the world. And what I do is same thing. I'll cast it towards shore, slow retrieves. And I'll retrieve it slow, stop, pop it, slow retrieve, stop, pop it, slow retrieve. I mean, you can do various retrieves, but that's what I like to do for the most part, or just a straight retrieve. Again, this one I will use most of the time going downstream, casting downstream or upstream, but mostly downstream walkers, most of the time upstream, and few times, I would say 25% of the time I'll go downstream. I believe the whopper popper makes a better action and sound than the stick baits. And I've been doing pretty well with these lures, guys. These are my top lures. I say top 6, but 2 different styles. Well, a couple of different styles, but let me know what lures you guys like to use in grassy shallow rivers. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna start editing my fishing videos. I have 4 of them that I have to edit. So that's it, guys. I'll catch you guys on the water.